Singularity Syndicate Podcast. I'm Najah Faisal. Today's conversation is with Mazen Mourad, a seasoned TV producer at Al-Jazeera Network, where we explore the fascinating implications of AI in broadcast media. Mazen, with his 13 years of rich experience, brings a unique perspective to the evolving field. And now, here's Mazen Mourad. Welcome to the
Hello,
program,
hello.
Mazen.
Thank you. Thank you for having me today. I'm so excited for the episode and thank you so much for this opportunity. And thank you for the podcast you are doing, actually discussing these topics and AI, especially because now people need to be informed about this and informed about AI usage in different fields. So thank
Absolutely.
you for this uh, podcast and for having me today again.
Thank you so much, Mazen. Yeah, the purpose of this podcast is, as I just explained to you before, that I aim to really invite people like yourself, experts in the field, and learn about their jobs and what they do and their role, and see what the implications or the role of AI that going to play in their profession. So, as a
Yes.
TV producer, I want to start with asking you, how would a day in the life of Mazen Murad look like?
Actually, days differ according to what you are working on. So basically, as a TV producer, uh, me myself, I'm in the creative part. So we come up with concepts, execute them, promotions for the channel I work for. So basically, every day is a whole adventure. So when coming up with concepts and creating the concepts, it may take days, actually, not a single day. From brainstorming, coming up with ideas, then going to the pre-production phase, preparing the shoot, the crew, deciding the location, the cast, then to the production phase where you do the shoot, then the post-production. So it's a variety of tasks, and it's so exciting. The field is so exciting, and it's something that me myself find so I enjoy doing this work.
Yeah, I remember because back in the days, I used to work in advertising, your typical advertising agency. I started my career at Leo Burnett, which is one of the leading ad agency in the world at the time.
Yep.
Um, and we used to produce a lot of TV commercials. And during that process, we start with, an idea, a storyboard, and then we take it to a production house who will assign a suitable director for that TV commercial. And then from there, the director will, and then the producers will, as you mentioned, they will prepare all the cast, different options, the wardrobe, the location,
Exactly.
all of that stuff. And then we, as a client, approves these things, and then we have a shooting day, or two, sometimes four, depends on how big the TV commercial is. And then after that, there's like post production, and there's the editing part. So
Yes.
from, but I'm sure the broadcast media is different though, because you work a lot in the studio too, no?
Yes, as a creative producer, as a promotion producer, we don't work in the studio all the time because we create campaigns for the channels. I've worked in two local TV channels back in Lebanon, and now I'm in Qatar working with Al Jazeera Media Network. So what's what we do is promote the channel's content. So we can use the studio for the shoot, or we can do shoots outside the studio, depending on the concept. So I don't spend all my time in the studio because I'm not a news. Let's say in Al Jazeera. No, I'm not a news producer. I'm creative producer. So we don't spend. I don't spend myself now much time in the studio. Back in Lebanon, I used to work as a content producer. I used to spend time on the studio during the show. So yes, but now it's different now for me.
So the projects that you work on, are they broadcasted live on the television, our typical television, or are they in a hybrid phase where there's a lot of social media content plus there's broadcast media? Like, where is the final product goes live on?
When you say promotional campaigns can go on TV during the breaks, during the commercial phase on the traditional TV, which is now shifting, and it goes on the digital platforms for the channel itself.
So, so what do you think of the future? Do you think that are we gonna see more like it? By the way, just to ask a basic question here,
Yep.
do you think? I mean, we all know that broadcast television is dying out slowly. I think the this year, I think, or the year or last year, the consumption of digital content overpassed the broadcast media content.
Exactly.
So, do you think that broadcast media is gonna completely be gone, or do you think there's still a niche, or there's still room for its existence?
When we say broadcast media, this podcast is a broadcast media. So broadcast media will be alive. But when you say traditional way of watching the broadcast media, this one is gonna end at some point. Because we used to back in the days we used to hold the remote and flip the channels and check what's on. And okay, I want to watch this, and I will wait this time to watch this. Now it's available everywhere, and it's on demand actually. So the channels will stay will be producing content, but the way you consume the content is different. So now you are consuming the content on your smartphone, on your smart TV, and you decide when you want to watch the show. Not it's back in the days. Let's say you are watching the show. You want to catch it on the exact time. If you didn't, you missed it. So now it's different. What's shifting is the consumer behavior, or how you are consuming the content, not the broadcast media itself. So I don't think it will the broadcast media will go away, but we have to uh, adapt to the changes, adapt to the consumer behavior.
Very good point. I think you nailed it here. Yesterday, I was watching this show. I love architecture, so I watched this show. It's called Grand Designs. It's an old show. It's like 10 years ago, but
Mhm.
I like it because they like take an old building that is not supposed to be for residents, and they basically do a renovation. Like they bring an architect and they do a renovation for that building. So let's say a water tank that is abandoned, and someone will buy that water tank, and they will bring in the best architects to basically transform
Renovate.
it into a house. And it's beautiful. Like I watch it, but then of course we watch on demand, right? So
Exactly.
I went to Amazon Prime. I got it. I found it on Amazon Prime. I didn't find it on Netflix and then the YouTube version is very short. So the full
Shorter.
episode So what is shocking to me was that Amazon Prime says, okay, this is a free episode, but with commercials.
Mm-hmm.
So this is like I usually just like buy for the movie and just go with my life. Like I don't want to listen about commercials. I don't want to see commercials. And this show had interruptions, like the commercial breaks, the typical. And this kind of reminds me a long time ago when we were like actually waiting, as you mentioned, waiting for the program to start. And then once it starts,
Exactly.
there is commercial breaks. And then in the commercial breaks, we used to rush to the bathroom if we want to go to
Exactly.
the bathroom.
Have a snack, rush to the bathroom. So yeah.
Exactly. But I was really annoyed because it's been a long time that I have really experienced interruptions like that. And it's like, oh
Yeah.
no, again. And I think part of it is also that the commercials weren't interesting. Because I worked 15 years in my life in advertising, and I know a good commercial when I see one. And
Yes.
it did not feel that the commercials were very repetitive, the same ones going on and on, Verizon and whatnot. But I didn't enjoy the commercials, and I was like annoyed by the whole thing. And as you said, like the human behavior is shifting, it's changing. We,
Exactly.
we no longer want that kind of interruption,
Exactly.
and yeah, and I think
And
it's
but everything comes with a cost because when when you don't want these, you have to pay. So you have a paid membership, or you buy the movie, so you don't have these interruptions. Um, but at the end, when I have this product, let's say, this show, and I want to make money doing this. So it's either I want to if either I can have money from the commercials or from you buying this show. So back in the days, no video on demand. There was commercials, always commercials, and it was you have to buy your spot on peak time and prime time, and now it's all different. So, but the consumer now, me myself, I don't like to see commercials. So you pay just
yeah,
not to see these commercials. Although when you go to social media, Instagram, Facebook, it's all commercial. It's all commercial. The marketing process is now also different. They tend to go to the social platforms other than TV or traditional TV.
absolutely. I mean, I don't have any problem with commercials if the commercial is one, very relevant to me, and then two, entertaining, like very
Exactly.
light, and then three, not so repetitive. Like I get it. You want to sell this, I get it, but just don't bug me too much, right? And I think this
Exactly.
is where, like, if we want to go into now, like, for example, AI's role in first assessing what commercial to deliver to you, right? So this is
Exactly.
number one. And also, based on your preference, because again, what AI does is like knows a lot about us already. So it can find ways to deliver the right commercial at the right time, at
Exactly.
the right frequency. So what do you think of the role of AI when it comes to promos and commercials like that?
Um, Actually, as commercials, it's been here a long time. Anytime you go to your smartphone, search something on the web, you go to Facebook, you go to Instagram, you go to any social platform. Oh, are they listening? No, they are not listening. They are tracking your data. So, what are you interested in? You can see on your smartphone screen, uh, just scrolling through your feed. So, and as for the promos or my job as in production, AI will have it started to have an impact, but I guess it will have a huge impact. Hopefully, it will be good and to be used in a good way, not in an evil way. Uh, but it's something huge and something big, and we all have to know how to deal with it, and we have to deal with it. Not say No, I'm not gonna go with the AI, or no, I'm not gonna let AI replace me. It will not replace me, but I have to use it well. I have to know how to use it. I have to have the knowledge of what AI can do to me, to my career, to my job, how it can help me.
Yeah,
So,
we're gonna get to that. I just want to linger more on the commercial side. And when you say it has an evil use case, and I'm picturing a world where when AI knows so much about you, it can manipulate your buying decisions. It can basically trick you into submission. It will trick you into making sure you're gonna buy what it's offered.
of course,
And this is part of the scary part, is like it knows more about us than we know about ourselves, and it can,
yes,
press every button. Because remember, purchase behavior is 90% emotional.
of
I mean,
course,
despite what people think that purchasing something is like rational and I'm not going to think, 90% of what we buy is emotional impulse.
emotional, of course,
And if AI is so smart in manipulating our emotions, literally it can take our money. And this is part of the evil thing. And I remember, I think today I reposted something on LinkedIn saying that, about EU regulations. So the European Union has launched a massive AI regulations, and part of what they prohibit was something like that, like emotional detection, stuff like that. So I think this is going to be something to be worried about in the future. And when it
of
comes
course.
to AI safety, we have to always be careful about what we
and
do.
and and, and we have to do regulations. The regulations now are crucial. They We need regulations for these.
Absolutely. All right. So now back to your job. So when you say, the first, when it comes to, like, for example, ideation, script writing, what's the role of AI here? Like, are you using like ChatGPT or some other tools, and how are you using them?
Yeah, actually, when last year, when ChatGPT was released, um, it was mind blowing that you can say something, ask it to do something, and you can see it in front of you as if it's you writing. Uh, in the field now, you can ask ChatGPT to come up with a concept, movie idea, TV show, and you see, it can give you a full script. It can give you a script. If you are doing a series, it can name every episode and give you the events that going, and it can, but if you keep asking it to elaborate, to do more, it will go on and on and on. So ChatGPT is really helpful in concepts and in creating ideas. So yeah, basically, I tend to do that and ask, I want to do something about this thing. What do you suggest? So I can see many suggestions. I can go take a suggestion. Me myself, I like to do my own creativity, but sometimes you want to help. Do you want some help from and that's why ChatGPT and AI is here. It's to help us explore more and do more. So yes, and other than ChatGPT, uh, we work in visual. TV production is all about visuals. So now you have many tools in like Midjourney. Midjourney. When did we never expected that we can now have text to image? You just enter the text, enter the prompt. I want this thing. Press enter, and here it is. There is an image. uh, Yourself couldn't imagine that this is the outcome, or if you wanted to do the outcome, it will take you hours to get this result.
Yeah, of course, I'm a big user of all of these models. But recently I've been really kind of like struggling because once, okay, at first there's a hype, at first, like, oh my God, look at text that it generated, right? And remember, like, I'm a paid member for like all the GPT-4 and all of them, like the best products out there, and like, I'm this is my field, so I'm all in, right? And for example, yesterday I wanted to create a video, and I wanted a script for that video,
Yeah.
and I found that really, despite all the context you give it, like I have all these GPTs that are programmed to really know exactly what I'm trying to achieve and everything. But still, like there is, like it will give you all the good stuff. It will give you the good text. It will give you something that looks professional. But when you actually read it and you say, okay, if I'm going to say that, it's not going to sound nice. It's not going to be up to par of
Y- You know,
what.
you, you know why? Because AI is not missing, and I hope it stays missing this point, the emotional intelligence.
Mm,
When you say words and when you write words, you put your emotions in these words.
that's right.
You got me.
Yeah.
As for AI, it's just AI scraps data from here and there and here and there and combine it just as is, no emotions, and it's just about dictation and wording and writing. There's no emotions. So I think this is a good part. We don't need AI to be emotional and intelligent. We don't need these emotions from AI because humans' emotions are the base of our lives.
Yeah.
You got me. You got what I'm saying. So I guess this part was missing in what you've read, or the result. I guess my opinion.
Yes. I think that AI doesn't know what creative is. For example, when I tell it, okay, give me this headline, but make it more creative, it doesn't know what a creative headline means. I feel, and this is my intuition here, because I rarely get a creative headline from AI. It's just, yes, it might twist the temperature. If you know how these like algorithms work in the back end, like I go to OpenAI's playground and I adjust the temperature sometimes from 0 to 10 and stuff like that, and see how it deviates from the patterns and from the ranking and the probabilities. But
Yes.
I don't think it knows what or at least my definition of creative headlines, or my definition of give me a punchy headline, or give me, and as you said, like an emotional script, right? And I feel this is where it lacks, because it is really not us, but it's
Exactly.
trying to mimic us through the
To
patterns of
mimic
AI.
us. Exactly. Yeah.
And that's, I created my company is called Parrots Lab, and they asked me, oh, why did you name your
Right.
company Parrots Lab?
Parrots. It's
And
about
the
mimicking
reason is
AI.
obviously is that because parrots mimic us as humans, and AI is trying to
Is
mimic us
doing the
too.
same.
So this is the correlation.
Exactly.
But yeah, it's very fascinating to really discuss this. I wonder if the next generation, say GPT-5 or GPT-6 or whatever that model is going to be called, are going to have this improved or not. This is because here's the caveat, because these models eventually are gonna be training, like for example, right now there's a big portion of the internet that is AI generated. So the text because everybody's like writing blogs and
Exactly.
journal articles, everything is like using these tools. So the next generation of these AI models are going to be trained on AI generated text, which means it's going to keep replicating the tone and the style of this AI generated text.
Of
And
course.
I could tell, like sometimes I read something on a website and I could tell that this is AI generated. There's a kind of a specific kind of look and feel for what a text look like that's
It
coming
lacks
from.
spirit, actually. You can feel there is no spirit
I agree, and I like what you're saying is that like I hope that it stays this way, because this is the only way so far to really try to differentiate between us and the
Exactly.
machine.
And you know what? Creativity comes from emotions. When you paint, you put your emotions in this painting. So this thing we don't. For me myself, I don't want this from AI. I want AI to help me in things like I can ask AI, I want to do a painting about this. It can suggest me images and I can do my own image, not take it as is. But it can suggest colors, suggest mood. So, but I don't want AI to have the emotional thing in it. I don't want it to be there. Emotions are our thing, humans thing. So yeah, and when you read, if you read what if I did a writing and you did the same writing about the same topic, and we have the same perspective on the topic, you can feel the spirit of every paper. You have the spirit of the writer. So AI just it can give you many information with no spirit. It lacks spirit, and this is good. I say it again. This is good.
Absolutely. So when it comes to script writing and stuff, I feel that it would be very helpful to brainstorm ideas with these models. It will try to give you outlines. I use it a lot for outlines. It also can give you correct proofreading. So when me and you, English is not our first language. So
Exactly.
when I want to write something like official on email or something, I don't want to have like bad grammatic mistake. Although Grammarly and all of these tools within email like can help, but still like there's room for proper English writing or proper language writing from any
Exactly.
language. So this is when it comes to script writing. Is there other things you want to add when it comes to script writing, or shall we move to the next part of your job, which is really filming
No,
and
but you can move to filming. Yeah, let's move to filming.
okay. So when it comes to, again, I'm going back to to your job role where you're preparing the models and the cast. What do you think of the AI generated models? And do you think they can? I mean, the video generation is still in its infancy, but it's very promising. So there is still gonna.
It is promising. Yeah.
Mhm.
Actually, I saw a lot of videos now uh, that uses automation. So now you can have ChatGPT write your script based on a prompt you give it, writes the script, and then there are many platforms that mimics the voice or have already voices in the library. The voice will read this, and then you can go to another website, another platform, another AI machine. You have the person. It speaks the language, speaks the text, and you publish it, and you can't feel the difference between the people if he is he real or not. You can still ask this question to yourself: is he real? But it's good. It's very good. It looks good. So at some point, I guess. When we talk about big productions, big money, you have a huge amount of money to be paid to people to do the work. When you have low budget and you want to produce something, this is a solution, I guess.
But what if
But what
the
if the
solution becomes better than the humans? Like, I know what you're talking about. You're talking about like these avatars that you give them the text and they will say it as if they were humans. Like you cannot differentiate them. What if people like no need for getting a news anchor, for example? Like you just have an avatar that tells you the news.
Again, it will be missing the facial expressions, the true facial expressions, and the true spirit of the person himself. It can be done. It can be done. When we talk about news, you want to see news, objective news, and nothing else. You don't want to see the anchors' expressions. And in news making, anchors tend to hide expressions because they are just informing you. So there's no facial expressions or no emotions in what they are saying. But other than that, you need the emotions. Imagine AI now is having this chat between me and you, or asking me the questions. It won't be genuine. It won't be genuine. But if I have a text, and I'm on low budget, and I want to deliver a message, a specific message, a commercial or something, and I am on a low budget, I can use these tools to produce that. But it will help me a bit to do something that looks good at the same
That
time.
looks minimally acceptable. And I like
Yeah,
what you said about news anchoring, right? Like news, I remember, like, all of the news anchors, they were just like, look at the prompter, and they were like reading the news. And I think this job is gonna gonna disappear with time, I feel, because it doesn't lack emotions. But when it comes to interviewing people and engaging with that news article, you still want to feel the human emotion happening there.
of course.
Yeah.
Of course.
So let's. So again, back to your role when you decide on, you had your AI help you craft the storyboard, and you did the images on Midjourney for the storyboard to check on the scenes. You can create these images like, oh, give me because back in the days when we used to do storyboarding, we used to basically draw them,
Exactly.
or put
You need
mood
an
boards.
artist. Exactly.
Exactly. Now I feel that storyboarding could be enhanced dramatically with, again, DALI and Midjourney and all of these text to image tools, whereby you just tell it what the scenes you want them to look like, and then you can put them all together. There are also
Exactly.
tools that produce presentations for you. So basically you can, eventually you're going to say, produce me a storyboard with this kind of idea, and then it will produce a full storyboard. And now
Yeah.
we go to the next step of the actual filming. From your experience, is AI integrated with cameras right now, or not yet?
I'm not sure, but I don't think so. I'm not sure on this point if it's integrated in cameras now, but I don't think so. It's it's uh, it's integrated after the shooting and the post production, and this is a huge world here. We are talking
Okay,
about.
tell us about this one.
Yeah. So AI now in the post production is capable of doing huge things. So now you can give him the footage. It has the capability to analyze the footage and to organize your footage and check the quality of footage and advices if you want. Which footage looks good and which doesn't, which so the analyzing capability it has to analyze the image itself is huge. uh, then we can go into the editing. Now you can AI can edit a full segment. Can edit a full segment. It can suggest music. It can do the voiceover if you have voiceover. So in the post production, AI is will I guess for later on it will do a big job and saving lot of hours of working hours.
Yeah, I remember you also mentioned before we went live, the potential for translation and dubbing and stuff like that.
Yeah, yeah.
Tell us more about this.
This is also something huge. Now we are doing this interview, and we are speaking in English. If we take the video, to an AI machine, and it will analyze the speech, translate it, and then let's say to Spanish. It translated to Spanish, and you'll see us talking Spanish and lip sync Spanish. So now you can reach a whole new audience in their native language, in their language. And it's hard to tell sometimes that this person is not talking the language, that this was dubbed through AI.
That's
So
incredible.
yeah, it's so
This
incredible.
reminds me. Remember me and you. I think we know that when we were kids, we used to watch these Mexican movies that
Yeah,
are
dubbed.
dubbed into Arabic, right? Like, so there are
Exactly.
like
Yeah.
they hire Arabic speakers who would translate, and then they will basically impersonate that person. There's always like problems with this thing,
Yeah,
but
exactly.
now you can actually produce movies like that, right? Like you can have a
Yeah, yeah.
movie that the original
Exactly.
movie would be in English, for example, and then you would watch it as if it's they are speaking native Spanish
Exactly.
or native Arabic or native whatever. So it's incredible what you can do with that. And as you said, you have the potential to reach a massive new audience that you couldn't reach elsewhere.
Of course. So
And
yeah, this is beautiful.
I also heard, and I know you know more about this, about the editing capabilities. So now, because you could edit a video through the transcript of that video. So let's
Yes,
say me and you, we're talking right now, and then there's already a transcript being built of every word we are saying. So now you can go to the back end, and then you say, let's say I said a word that I shouldn't say. I could go to that word and delete it, and it will delete
yes,
the video segment of that word.
exactly, exactly.
That's
And
very
AI
useful.
will and AI will transcribe the video at first. It will transcribe the video, and when you highlight the wordings, it will go to the segment that that is on the timeline. So so yeah, your question was you want to add something.
Yes. No, that's exactly what I going to say about like the editing becomes much easier. I personally am using an AI tool that would take the long form podcast, and it will basically divide it into
It,
little reels, like 1 minute reels, and for like Instagram and Facebook and TikTok and all of these platforms. And it's totally automatic. It will even analyze the transcript and see which
which
segment
had
is.
has impact on the viewers, or will be catchy to watch
Yeah,
on.
but again, I have to tell you that it's still not up to par. Again, I think that's the thing. After the hype phase, like after, oh wow, it can do that. Yes, it can do that. Not as good as
As
humans
good.
at this
Exactly.
time. At this moment, AI is still not up to par. Like I personally wouldn't. So if I'm producing high quality work for a client, let's say, who is generously paying me, I wouldn't use that tool. I would hire an editor
Of
to do
course.
that. But because I'm doing it for myself and it's like for my personal brand and stuff like that, it's okay. I'll use an AI tool. It will save me a lot of money and time.
Of
But
course.
again, we're not talking about human level yet, and that's why when people at OpenAI and the AI experts, they talk about okay, AGI, right? Artificial General Intelligence. And they
Mhm.
are aspiring to have not only generality, but also human level generality. And I think we don't have it yet. We might have it, but at this
Hopefully
moment,
not.
it's still, and it's good. I hope that we don't have it soon.
Exactly. Exactly.
Yeah, absolutely.
You know what were you talking about, the reels creation. Now, if you are working with the example you gave, a big project with some client, and you want to hire someone, you can do both. You can hire someone, a human person, to work through this stuff, and you go to the AI and check the AI suggests. Sometimes you feel, oh, yeah, I missed this in my human work. And I guess this part, if I take this part that AI suggested, it will be and placed it through my edit or in the reel I'm creating, it will give something, it will be something. So I guess now AI is you can not depend on it 100%, but you can, let's say, in this work take specific things and take suggestions that can help you improve your work actually.
Absolutely. All right. So let's talk about the future a little bit. How do you see um, the role of AI? I mean, do you first of all, do you think that AI will have the level of humans at some point? And if so, like by what, by when you suspect that? And let's say it does have human level capabilities. Are you afraid of your job, or like what people should do to protect themselves? Tell us more about that.
Let me start with protecting people, protecting themselves. Um, you have to learn and you have to know and have the knowledge of AI and what generative AI now could do, and you have to understand how it works, and you have to hire the AI to work for you. So let's start here. This is how you can protect yourself. It's not about, no, I don't want to work with this. No, I don't want to know about this. No, you have to. You have to do that. As for replacing jobs, in my job, let me speak about my job and the field. Arts is all about creativity, emotions again, and humanity, let me say. AI will never be a human, will never have human emotions, will never have a human touch. Like storytelling in the media, in the broadcast media, is everyone will have a technique in storytelling. So that's why you can see a story from each person different than the other, because his emotions and his perspectives are there. uh, AI will not have these. AI, you'll see all the stories are the same. If the story will not differ from if you're using many GPTs, each one you have many suggestions or many scripts, you can see them the same. There's no emotions. There's no I don't know how to say it. The way you are telling the story is crucial for the consumer. Is something important. When I have something to share with you as media, I have to touch your emotions so you can relate or so you can feel what I'm saying. AI will never do that, and
Absolutely.
that
And I feel like, to add what you're saying, I feel that we humans have a good instinct on also the audience. Let's say, I think this is something that AI is going to really struggle with, because let's say I'm talking to you, right? So I will cater what I'm telling you, um, just based on who you are. Like, I know that you're like,
of
I know
course.
you, like, for example, and different characteristics of you. I know certain things. So my brain is already trying to, cater content to you. And this is something like is gonna struggle with, because it cannot really know. Of course, you can feed it. You can say, I'm targeting this target audience, and it will, again, I'm trying to find space for us, and I think there is one. We just probably are struggling to articulate where the line is drawn between what AI can do and what humans can do. And I think when it comes to jobs, and I think part of the interview that you kind of managed to get me with one of the television stations in Lebanon, is that what we're talking about jobs, is that AI is going to accelerate your work. It's going to 10x your work. It's going to make you more productive, more efficient, fast. Automation tools added to the AI. I use a ton of them. I make my apps talk to each other. My tools, the different tools talk to each other and generate all of this stuff automatically. And that's why people think, oh, how can you do all of this stuff? You're running a company. You have clients. You are doing podcast almost every week, and you're doing all the reels. Well, of course, because I have an army of AI tools. Like I have a
Of
team
course.
of AI tools that is running the work. I also have people employees, by the way, but
Mhm.
but the bulk of the work, if I want to
It's
hire
done.
every job, is all going to be AI. So I think this is where AI is going to be different than, like,
Of
if
course.
I am not
But
using AI, I will be 10 times less productive. And if you
of
are
course,
a
but
company who want to hire me, what do you prefer? Do you prefer to hire this person who has an army of AI tools, who is very proficient with them, who knows everything about them, or you want to hire someone who is just a solo person? Of course, you're
no,
going to hire the person
of
with
course.
more, who
But
knows and who utilizes these AI tools.
of course, and the person who have much more productivity because I need my job done. So depending on AI, you'll have your job done. But I have a question for you. Even
Mhm.
if you rely on AI, you want to oversee the work as a human. You can't fully trust. So, and you still, I don't know if you still go through what the end result that gave you, and oh no, I can't publish this, I can't publish this, this is not gonna work. So here again, I say people, okay, maybe we can, if the team is 10, we can decrease the number to 5, but we still need these 5 people. We still need these people to check what AI is doing, to oversee the work AI is doing.
Absolutely, but here's the caveat. When people tell me, like, yeah, I mean, instead of a team of 10, you can hire 5. But imagine, but we are living in a capitalistic society. So if my company has 10 people and your company has 10 people, my company employed all the AI tools, right? And your company employed all the AI tools. If I fire 5 people, I will lose still 50% of my
Of the
productivity,
productivity.
because the other 5 people are going to also employ AI tools and going to be also very productive. So the
Of course.
capitalistic society, the capitalism protects jobs, because I want to stay competitive with your company. Your company and my company are competitors. And if you are 10xing your productivity, I want to 10x my productivity. And this is how, we level up the playing field.
Of
And this is
course.
why I feel that AI is not going to be taking jobs away. I
Gonna
feel that
replace
AI is
people.
going to even more create more jobs.
Of course, and that's why what I was saying before. People should learn. People should follow these trends and use them for their own benefits, because if they didn't, those people will stay behind.
That
Not
is
if
an
they.
awesome. That's an awesome note, Mazen, to really try to sum up this episode. We have. I don't know if people have in the chat. Let me check. All right. So if you're listening to this and you have any questions, feel free to ask. Mazen, how can people contact you?
Through Instagram, Facebook, LinkedIn, basically professionally, Mazen Mourad, Mazen Mourad.
Awesome.
Uh, yes, it's
Well,
all on all platforms the same.
that's awesome, and I'm gonna try to put links to your profiles in the description of the YouTube. And yeah, I want to thank you, man. It was really a pleasure to talk to you
Thank,
and learn from you. You're an awesome person, and I'm
thank
very
you,
glad
thank
to,
you,
to have you as a friend.
thank you. I'm so glad to be here today with you and to have this talk. Actually, it was a great episode for me. And as I said before, your podcast is great. I've been following it from the beginning. And the topics you're discussing on the show are really interesting and really good, and people should know these information and should follow and the trend of AI, let me say, in the world.
Absolutely. Thank you, and have a great day.